Yeah, I created that myself. Here we go.
And there he is.
Here we
Here
go.
we
The
go.
Flamingo's back.
Oh,
Here we
what do
go,
you know?
everybody. We welcome to the Canadian Bro Show. We have a very special episode. I probably say that most of my episodes, but in this particular time, we have a very special episode, in that we have not only the co-host of the most, Mr. Johnny Leister, but we have Mr. Jonathan J. Brown, a celebrated author, old friend, athlete, personal trainer, and one of our favorite guests to have on the Canadian Bro Show. In the meantime, before we do that, Jonathan and Johnny, we'll get into it sooner than later. I just want to say welcome to everybody at the Canadian Bro Show. This is the first iteration of the Canadian Bro Show. This is our 102nd episode, I believe. And in the first, thank you. In the first iteration, Johnny and I do an episode. This is episode 61. And that is All Things Canadian with Pauly and Johnny. And it's quite diverse. We like to talk a lot about health. We like to talk a lot about Canadian pop culture. But at this stage in our lives, with all three of us incredibly handsome and really well-presented chaps, all in our 60s, we are going to talk about our new episode 61, and that is Plus 55, Thriving. Mm-hmm. Nurturing our body, soul, spirit, and aging
Strong like bull.
for longevity.
Yes,
Special
sir.
guest. Once again, thank you for joining us, Jonathan J. Brown, who is a renowned published author, celebrated musician, and now a certified athletic trainer. So thank you once again. In the meantime, before we get into the episode, I just want to do, we're all writers here. I'm the least professional writer. I'm not a paid or professional writer like Johnny and Jonathan are. However, while they're here and they're writers, I like to just have some fun.
All right.
So, treating the vessel, 55 and thriving. All right. You guys ready? We're ready to talk a little bit about aging?
Let's treat that vessel.
Like Jack Burton, I was born ready.
Let's treat more than the vessel. Although the vessel is what carries us through this particular journey this time around. And just because you're over 55, and by the way, congratulations if you are over 55. There was decades in the past where people didn't live past 45 or 35.
That's for sure.
You've officially reached the stage of life where you just don't get old. You just update parts.
There you go. Revolving.
Knees?
Evolution.
Knees, get some titanium knees. Hips, get a titanium. It might take 3 to 5 years in Canada.
Bionic hips.
Right? Eyes, get eye replacement, or get just an HD subscription once everything's expired. Back, make sounds that don't exist in nature. I can tell you from my knees, I get up every single time I sit in the living room and I'm ready to make popcorn or go to the washroom or get a beverage or whatever.
Yep.
When I get up, it sounds like I'm making popcorn with both knees and both ankles.
Oh, your knees are talking to you. That's nice of them.
Why we do yoga.
I'm telling you, honestly, you're right. But after millions and millions of miles, the damage has been done. I'm lucky I'm walking. I'm lucky I can ride my bike 10K every morning. And that's good. But here's the good news about aging. Today is not what aging used to be. Not at all.
Right.
And this isn't our grandparents, if we remember our grandparents, and I certainly do. This is not about sitting quietly around and having, a cup of tea and complaining about the era or the weather in that era, because that's what people did. They didn't have televisions. They had radio. There was no social media. And there was a lot of complaining. It's something that Canadians love to do. We did that. Canadians love to complain. But
And
it's not
another
just
thing.
Yeah.
And really what it comes down to, no. This is age 55 plus. We have Wi-Fi. We have Bluetooth. We have protein shakes. And we have complaining strong opinions era. And today's episode is about treating your vessel, your body, your soul, your mind, so you don't just live longer, you live better.
Quality.
And our guest, Jonathan J.
Quality
Brown, can bring that into a fruition a little bit more concise and clear as we go on. Because longevity without vitality is just extra
Would
weight.
be unbearable.
It could be, absolutely.
It's a lot heavier, yeah.
We're talking about moving without making noise. Remembering when you walked into a room and why you're there. sleeping through the night without having to do a bathroom tour.
Oh, pretty much everything else.
Or even, can you imagine, even waking up feeling like, yeah, I still got it. Whatever the hell that means to you.
Whatever it is.
This episode is not about chasing youth. It's about protecting independence. It's about keeping curiosity alive and squeezing every drop of joy out of the remaining years, perhaps decades, that we still might have. So whether you're 55, 65, 75, or just watching this thinking, I should probably start. These guys look great. They say they're in their 60s? Are you kidding me? If I'm 45 and I look 65. Well, this happens. And if that's for you, this episode's for you as well, because it's for us as well. We just want to, we're not doctors. We're not therapists. We're just three 60-year-old plus chaps that have been through a lot in life, and we're still here, and we're really healthy, and we care about all three of us. We work out every day.
Yep.
And working out is not just about physical, it's mental, psychological, sociological. There's so many things involved, and we're going to spread a lot of light on that. And so if you need to just sit down and grab a coffee or a bourbon or a vape or, anything you want to do, you're going to do it.
That flask. Go to town.
Right? And this is something, before it locks up, this is the Canadian Bro Show.
Yes.
And today, we are upgrading the vessel, body, mind, and soul. Let's go.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm so excited about doing this. And at the end of the day, Jonathan, because you're our guest and this is the third time you're coming back, I've got sort of a top 10 that I want to go through, and Johnny's got some questions. But in the meantime, could you tell all of us exactly what Jonathan J. Brown, for those that haven't seen the 2 episodes, a little bit about yourself, you're such a dynamic character. You've got so much talent. and just to introduce yourself to the people that haven't seen you. There's a lot of people that know you and a lot of people that we know that ask about you all the time. And how are things going in California?
All right, man. Well, first of all, thank you for having me back. This is my favorite podcast to be on.
It's sweet.
Don't tell the other podcast. And Mr. Bale, happy
birthday, bro.
Happy birthday, gentlemen. I love it, man. I've been invited to your birthday party, and I'm here. This is amazing.
Here we are.
I honestly, one of my biggest, thank you very much, gentlemen. I am turning 61. I've just turned 61, apparently, and which is remarkable. And I've known both of these chaps since the 70s. Johnny I met in 1972, and Jonathan I met in 1970, probably when he was at U Hill in grade 8.
Yeah, 79, 80, probably 80.
79, like yeah, 78, 79, I think was our grade 8 year. And here we are, 3 of us. So very proud to have these chaps, and the best birthday present I could ever ask for. My name is Paul Bale. I'm the founder and host of the Canadian Bro Show. And Jonathan, this is the 3rd time he's been on. And Johnny Leister is my co-host of the most, and
you still can't pronounce my name right after 52 years.
Look, I've got it.
Maybe 90, it's because it's been 52 years.
Yeah,
Leister. I got lice a lot in high school. John Lice.
You got a lot worse than that in high school, if I remember correctly. So, once again, for those that don't, do you want to talk about why people know you and why you're here and what are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, man, I was born and raised in Vancouver. And, oh, man, when I look at the world today, you guys probably do the same thing, and you look back and you say, what a great area and era that we came up in. Yeah. I mean, I think the morals and standards that our parents had, which was all generally the same, there's a real great sense of community. Public schools were good. You didn't have to go to an expensive private school. Sports were funded. Music was in elementary schools. There was PE at school, which is important. And it's just, what a great time to come up, I gotta say.
We rode our bikes every day. We worked out every day.
Yeah, I tell these, I've been teaching drums and I've got young clients, and I say, we didn't have play dates organized by our parents. And to get to school, that you walked,
mom thing.
you bussed, skateboard, you rode your bike, or you hitchhiked. Yes, we hitchhiked back in the day. That's
When it
so
was
cool.
safe.
Boy, if
But it
my
was
dad
safe.
caught me hitchhiking, I wouldn't be alive today.
And then, so now I'm in Los Angeles, and I've been here for about 25 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's kind of like half my life there, half my life here.
Yeah.
The
best of both worlds, eh?
I love Canada, and I love these United States. And we have way more.
Canada loves you.
Thank you. And as citizens, we have way more in common than we do differences.
Oh, I think so too.
And I know we're not going to get heavy into politics. That's for another episode.
Yeah,
but I
definitely.
do have to say I'm shocked, and what a twit that the commander-in-chief picked a fight.
Come on, Jonathan. You
Yeah.
can come up with something better than that.
With Canada. Makes
Well,
The guy's evil, bro.
It makes no sense. I mean, most of what he does makes no sense, but
None of it.
That
The
one,
guy's a complete moron.
Oh,
So
yeah,
much
just-
about getting into politics.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
exactly.
sorry. We'll try to.
Right.
We don't really talk about him very much because
Yeah, we
he's
don't.
just.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's beyond anything anybody has ever seen.
Yeah,
We'll leave it
yeah.
at that.
True.
I want to ask
Okay.
John a question about, you mentioned before the show that you were a life coach. Can you tell our
Can,
viewers?
can
what
we
is-
let him finish his let him
Sorry.
finish his intro, bro?
I just wanted to throw that in there.
I want to watch
No.
you guys go at it. This is the show.
No. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
we
okay.
just introduced him, Johnny. Let him talk, bro.
Yeah, Johnny, I was pursuing music as a drummer forever and a day. Started playing at 10 years old, and I'm now 60. Turned 60 in November.
Congratulations to the 60 Club.
You look
Thank you.
fantastic.
And became a personal fitness trainer in 2009, and I'm still doing that. And
Congratulations
what-
on that. I had no idea that you were a personal trainer in 2009.
Yeah.
I thought you just did it recently. My bad.
Yeah, and so I've always worked. Either people come to me to my home gym, or I would take my gear to their place. I never worked out of a gym or anything like that.
Right.
And what I found with teaching drums and with personal training is a lot of people will come and you get a close relationship and they unload on you. Not unload, but they share what they're going through.
Once they
You
feel
just build it
comfortable
right
with
up.
you, they'll
Yeah. And I
they
remember
will unload on you.
Yeah, and when I was taking my course to get certified, I remember the instructor said, a lot of people are going to might use you as a therapist. Now, if you're not ready for that, this is not the occupation for you. And I'm like, no, I love that. If I can help in any way, yeah, go ahead. And
So that's the life coach aspect of it.
well, getting into that's not part of it. However, and a lot of coaches won't let you go there. They're just saying, no, just load those dumbbells up onto the barbell and
Get the discipline sorted right from the beginning.
Let's do
Russia.
another. Yeah, but if they want
Bartender.
to, if they want to chat and unload, I'll make sure they're working out while they let me know what's going on. And if I can give advice, I enjoy that. So that it's sort of spilled into when I got cancer in 2022, and I put all those posts on social media just to keep people up to date.
And what
What
kind
I-
of cancer did you unfortunately find
It's
yourself with?
it's in the leukemia family, and it's called multiple myeloma. So it's like blood and bone cancer, and
Wow.
it's nasty. But
I
one
was
of the
waiting for
things-
you to say that.
one of the things that came out of it was I got a lot of feedback on the videos about that. People said, "Oh, you're so positive. I love your positivity," and da 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 da. So, which I hadn't. Well, that was just me putting up a 1 minute post and leaving.
but you've
right?
always been like that, right?
Yeah, I just kind of looked at. I even looked at high school as a daytime party, is how I thought, and then with a little bit of basketball
Yeah.
for part of the year.
Yeah.
But so when I got that feedback, and then I would get private DMs and emails and stuff where people said, "I found what you're saying really helpful."
You
And then-
inspired a lot of people who are going through
Right.
something.
So then I kept it going, and I started kind of blending that into my training, and my clients were really receptive to it. And especially at a time like now, you probably the biggest word we hear right now, not just with young people, is anxiety. Like so many people have anxiety, and a lot of it has to do with what's going on in the world. Like hands down, nobody can dispute that.
For sure.
Right? and it trickles down to your life. You're just like
Absolutely
you don't feel safe. You feel in a hurry, and that's from
Tentacles from an octopus just
yeah,
infects every aspect.
yeah,
Right.
and because I'm into yoga and I read a lot of books on Buddhism, and I've always been able to be chill even in chaos. And I like to help people. And a lot of times it's your perspective. And I believe that anxiety is a fear of a perceived future. Like it hasn't happened yet,
Right,
but
right,
you're
right.
afraid of what
Worst case scenario.
might come. So a lot of people that are up in their head too much, they're like, they go to the worst case scenario and then they get anxious about it.
Most people are fear-based in worrying. They worry, and it's fear-based.
Right.
And it's
that's why they don't
uncontrollable.
have any effort towards manifesting what they really want to do with their lives, and then they
Right.
wonder why they're suffering.
It can stop everybody from doing whatever they want, and depending on the variance of that. So that's a really good point. Go on,
Right.
please.
So I got cancer in 2022 and I fought it for a year and I got a stem cell transplant. And then I was clean until 2024 and it came back. So I have it once again and I'm on a very low
Another
dose.
stem cell replacement, or
No, I'm just on chemotherapy right now.
Okay.
So no radiation. Twice a month I go and get shot to the belly. And that is a very low dose, which is great. So I don't have side effects.
Right.
And I can sort of live with it, with the chemo, and keep the cancer down. It's a real balancing act, and I'm getting great care. Shout out to the City of Hope in California.
Right. You mentioned them before. Amazing.
Yeah, and when I was in the hospital, you have a lot of time to sit and think, which our generation can do because a lot of times we didn't get much attention from our parents.
Parents,
Which is good.
plural. I just had a waitress of a mom that was way in over her head. So totally,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like we came up when the parents would say, "Go outside and play by yourself." Like,
I would say to my mom, "How long do I get? Do I get 10 hours? Can I be back at 7:30 tonight?"
right.
Seriously.
So we developed this independence. So that came right back when I had, my sessions were 6 or 7 hours of just sitting in a bed under what I called the chemical feed bag. And then while I was sitting there, I thought, I really do want to keep helping people. So Johnny, that's where I got into thinking, okay, I want to be a life coach. So I'm going through this certification process now, but I've already sort of applied it to some of my clients that I have now. I'm already doing the coaching. And you don't have to have the cert, but just like with my training,
It's a huge bonus.
Yeah, it's a huge bonus. So
And
you
makes
did
more
ask,
confident, and the people feel more confident in you because they're coming back.
Yep. And Johnny, you said like basically, so what do you do? So we're not therapists, but a lot of people, if it's anxiety that's holding them back on a goal that they have, as a coach, you set up, help them come up with the plan. They're going to do the work, but you say, for 6 weeks, let's do this, and you stack these little things that will turn into like a win for them until
Little mini goals or whatever.
Little mini goals, because a lot of people have these limiting beliefs, like I'll never be a fill in the blank. I don't think I can ever do a so and so, or I'm never going to lose these 40 pounds or whatever. And you show them the steps, and then they apply them, and then they get confident. They get rid of that limiting belief and start to believe in themselves. And then all of a sudden, they go for that promotion, or they propose to their partner. So there's a lot of
happens once we start doing. We discover that we want to keep on doing.
hell
Right?
yeah.
We have to
Hell
take
yeah.
that first step. Because sometimes that's the
Yeah.
Hey
big
man,
hurdle.
if it works and they get the message and they see the light,
Yeah.
it can be a mind-altering life experience change.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of niches under the umbrella of life coach. You can be the corporate one and go sit with bank CEOs, or you can work with soccer moms or pregnant mothers. There's a whole
Do you have a
gamut out there.
scale of what you charge your clients per their income?
Say that. What was it?
Do you,
Sorry,
do you
do
have
that
like different rates for your clients? Like
It's
do you
done,
charge-
done by the hour, I suppose.
Yeah, it's done by the hour, and it's around 95 to 120 an hour,
The
depending.
best 120 you could spend.
Exactly. And so my niche, which is going to be energy and positivity coach, because I believe that whether it's energy when you start your day, if you had a better sleep, you have more energy. If there's something, a fear that you're trying to get over, fear of flying, you got to get the energy up to get the confidence to go and do that thing. And we can come up with those little mini goals to get to that big goal. And then the positivity, as you guys say, that I'm all about that. And I know that when people are feeling so lost with on both sides of our borders right now, positivity, which is a part of love that we talk about all the time, that's what's going to get you through. And getting down, and it starts with family and then community, and then we go from there.
Quick interjection, positivity in our current situation with us being in Canada and Jonathan and his wife being in our southern neighbors, and what's going on in that madness is really one of the most important things you could possibly hang on to, because everything else is just dust and light and negativity. And honestly, it's about how we assess this. If you know that all of the negativity is coming from a truly evil source, it's really quite easy to understand that you just shrug it off the shoulder. It's like bad dandruff. Just take a look and knock it off and just move forward in a positive light. Yes. And Jonathan mentioned that earlier, and we'll let him talk for sure. When he mentioned Buddhism and positivity, it's honestly, Johnny and I, we talk about this. Yeah. We had an epiphany at about the same time, not far off from you, Jonathan. And everything in my life is about cautiously optimistic, and in a positive way. I'm removing negativity from all aspects of my life and won't allow it anymore. And it's only about, and this is what this episode's about. It's about the soul, the spirit, the mind. So please go on. This is really juicy.
That's kind of where I'm at right now.
and so
that was my first question. Do you want to do your question now, Paul?
No, you go ahead, Johnny.
Okay. My next question is, what do you do when a client wants to quit, and you know that they don't want to quit? They really don't want to, but they're throwing in the towel. What advice do you give them, or do you just say?
Yeah, you know what? They don't really say.
They don't quit from John. They don't quit from Jonathan.
or I guess let me amend the question. Has that ever happened? Have you had clients quit?
No, I haven't. But what I've had is.
Wow.
What I've had is clients go on to do something else, and that is a win for both of us, right?
Yeah,
the goal is not for you to stay with me forever. Like, here's my favorite thing. This is the best part. They come to me and they say, I want to lose 25 pounds, and we work out together over the however many weeks or months, and they lose that weight, and then they say, you know what? I think now I want to do Pilates. I want to go do Zumba. I'm going to do pickleball. I'm going to do, and fill in the blank of something active where they were not active before. So
whereas you could have been the start off point for that.
Well, what I like is what they think their goal is a physical look. I want to be a size 2. I want to look good in a dress. So that's the vanity part and the insecurity, right?
So it's how their subjective interpretation of how they feel and look is to them.
And that all comes from the industry of magazines and all that bullshit out there. Of course, right? Like they're supposed to look, and then you got Instagram and influencers that look amazing, but they've got filters and they make a lot of money, all that stuff. So they come in with this, I want to look like this. But through working out with me or working out with anyone, they get stronger. They sleep better. Their sex life is better. They have all these positives from exercise, and then they have the confidence and the desire to go, I'm going to fucking go hike Machu Picchu now, right? Whereas before, they would have said, I could never do that. I could never do that, right? So that's my favorite thing. So I don't even look at that as a quit. I look at they're going to the next level, and I was happy to be a part of it.
So you're a facilitator at the end of the day. You're trying in a positive light to help people understand that they can open doors and new windows in their lives and follow the white light of love. But people need to be told, and this is what this episode's about, whether you know it or not, sometimes you need to be reminded of exactly what we have all gone through and what we're still going through and will continue to go through.
And what you said exactly earlier about longevity. So if they did nothing and they came to me obese, let's say they might live till 72. But if they make this lifestyle change at 45, now maybe they make it to 85, 90. Because they got,
Longer.
because that extra weight is hard on all the organs and the arteries
God,
and the
it's-
clogged everything, right?
Yeah, Jonathan
So-
wouldn't know about that because he's been the same size. Jonathan's been the same size since I met him in 1978. But that was a picture of Johnny when he's 260. And he was drinking 2-4 beer and 2 buckets of
I was
KFC,
eating,
pass out on his
and
pass
KFC
out on his ghetto couch,
It's a wonder I'm
and do
still
it all
alive.
over again the next
Oh
day.
my God. Okay, wait. So
I
the
put
beer
all my
and
eggs in
KFC? Oh
Yeah,
my
I put all my
God.
eggs in one bag. Sometimes
And apparently some other really nefarious habits
But,
that he
you
doesn't
know,
like to talk
I'm
about.
not living that way, but this little woodpecker was nattering in my brain constantly. It's like, what are you doing? You're committing suicide. It's like you're slowly committing suicide. And it's not that I really hated myself. I just got used to living that way.
You got yes, that was
And-
your
and-
routine. That was
And
your
meanwhile, I
yeah.
was reading all the self-help books. I was reading Anthony Robbins and Deepak Chopra,
You were.
and Awakening the Giant Within. I was listening to tapes and doing the exercises, and I made these little baby steps. Like I
Yep.
did for a couple of years. Or
I love
tried-
it.
Or try, but it didn't take in a meaningful way.
It
was
didn't
like,
resonate at that point, but he knew he was on the right track. He just didn't know how to do it.
I was
So
such-
Johnny, when you were at not your rock bottom, but when you knew when the woodpecker was pecking at your head,
Yeah.
did you ever get to a point where like, hey, I'm happy with this. I love my beer and my KFC
Yeah.
and I'm not changing? Were you
Yeah.
at that point for a
It
while?
was a lot of that's actually an excellent point. That's something
Don't
that
we
really-
all love beer and KFC, really, at the
that's
end of the
why I
day?
love it.
KFC
I mean,
in the 70s was good.
Oh, my God.
Every night after work with my stack of DVDs and my chocolate chip cookies, and I would order pizza, and I was having, and I just enjoy stories so. It was like I was plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah.
I always knew that I had these moments of clarity. In movies, the main character will have an epiphany, a moment of clarity, and boom, they're off and running. I don't think it's like that for most people. I think we have many epiphanies. We have many, and if we're lucky, there's one that finally has a meaningful impact. And for me, it was loneliness. I just hit a saturation point where it's, I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Yes. You have
And
to.
I'm
Yeah,
free.
you're right.
I'm
Yep.
looking at the next 20 years about
It doesn't need to be rock bottom, but you know that you're on the way.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, this is the plateau. This is the apotheosis of my life right now. And I always knew in my mind's eye that I was capable of so much more. So I lowered the shields. I took a leap of faith. And ever since then, I still have a long ways to go to achieve my ultimate goals, but at least I'm on the right journey. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. Paul would have asked somebody else, and I was so honored when he asked me.
No, you were the first and only person I thought of, to be honest.
Congratulations on going through that. Because,
Oh, yeah.
And what I really like is
I needed to go through that to get to where I am now.
Well, this is the point. So let Jonathan absolutely go on, please.
what I really like about what you said is while you were doing that and you were filling that void with the movies,
Trying
and the
to.
beer,
Trying to.
right, but you did before
It gave him joy in the short term, but
Yeah.
not
Instant
in the
grat-
long.
before
game.
that series of epiphanies happened. You said to yourself, "I know I'm better than this."
Yes.
So you had that self-worth. It was just deep in there, and then you pulled it out, and I love that.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for
I
you.
just
And a lot of people don't get out.
Yeah, and
Unfortunately.
I'm not going to dwell on this. But what I did is I just reached out to God. I said,
Did you?
Heavenly Father, I need your help. And
Did
he
you
answered.
really?
Yeah, and I believe that, and that's why I became a believer in God, because I believe that I
Okay.
heard his
He
voice.
had that.
And
He
it pat
had
me on the head,
that
and
golden epiphany.
You're there. Don't be so hard on yourself.
He
Bless
saw
you.
the white light of love. He saw it.
Why
He
don't you
felt it
start-
and changed. And how many years ago is that now?
It's 2019, and better late than never. And I always
Oh
tell
no
people,
shit.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's really incredible.
live your life in the present. Live your life in the here and now. The moment we start thinking about the past or worrying about the future, it disempowers us. And we
Yeah.
have to think in a way that empowers us so that we can synchronize ourselves with whatever it is we're meant to do with our lives.
Wow. See, this is why I love this stuff. I honestly. And if I may ask my first question,
Yeah.
we don't have to go through all of them. We're just going to go through, and I'll go through. I did 1 to 10, but 10 doesn't necessarily mean that it's any less than 1.
Sure.
It's just that's how I write.
Sorry.
I'm being honest. I'm not a professional writer like you guys.
You know why I love puns? I love puns because that's how I roll.
Oh yeah, and you can see that.
Okay.
We'll save the pun for later. But number 10 for me, Jonathan, and I went through my own epiphany, and Johnny and I, in fact, all three of us, very similar in terms of timing and dates and time and how we went through things. Obviously, yours is a lot more profound and a much deeper challenge, of which I think you're succeeding. I think you're attacking it the right way. I think
Thank
your
you.
positivity and joy. It's the same Jonathan Brown I met in 1977, 78. And here we are, three 60-year-old chaps.
Yeah.
And we are younger now than we've ever been. And 60 is the new 50. But in the meantime, my new question is, I find, because I grew up in Catholicism, I've always been a spiritual chap from a young age. But after I got through the dogma of Catholicism and started to look into other areas of growth spiritually, for me personally, I found Buddhism and Taoism. And I started to really get into it because of Bruce Lee. And this is when I met Johnny. We were both. I was madly in my honest. Next to James Bond, Bruce Lee was probably the most important person in my world. Elvis Presley would be tied for 3. If it was James, it would be Sean Connery, Elvis Presley, and Bruce Lee for me. Okay. And then I could add a sports person, but whatever. This episode's not about me. It's just my journey. My question, and it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. What I do is I every day wake up with a sense of gratitude and cautious optimism, because I know how this crazy world is. And my spiritual growth is tied into my holistic growth.
Okay.
And when I talk about my mind, spirit, soul, and body and my vessel, I'm 100% committed. In the last 4 or 5, I've been this way all my life, but when I found out that I was on death's bed and I was bloated and 240 pounds and sick and tired of the life that I grew into, I realized that if I didn't get out of this and change my ways, I would not be here very much longer, and I believe that 100%. So my thing is gratitude, optimism, and spiritual health. Taking the time to understand what gratitude means for you on a deep level, or even an initial entry level, to allow it in and allow your faith and reflection. And if you're spiritually inclined, mantras and prayer on a daily basis is what I do. I do anywhere from 15 to 30 mantras a day, depending on how bad the day is or how much I need to get into my mantras, which remind me about all of these things. And why doing my mantras and prayer, it helps improve my mood, it lowers my stress, it helps my blood pressure, and is linked, obviously, to a much longer and healthy life. There's no guarantees, but that is one thing I'll say. Gratitude, optimism, and spiritual health would be my number 10. Could be my number 1.
Right. Awesome.
And so why it matters? Well, a positive outlook literally helps you live longer and enjoy it more. It's that simple.
100%.
And if I make a joke, because Johnny's going to be doing his thing, I'm going to do a joke in each one of the ones I bring up. If complaining burned calories, we'd all be shredded like Jonathan J. Brown.
Come on, man.
Seriously, he hasn't put on. I mean, it's not like I've spent time with Jonathan at the pool or in the gym. We played on different teams. Once I kicked their ass, I just want to get out of that gym so I could get on with my day. But that was my number 10. Jonathan, would you like to bring up anything that's something that you've noticed? And we'll just rotate this from Jonathan to Johnny to myself, and we'll talk about things that, to this day, that maybe you knew all along, or you discovered along the way, or something that just happened recently.
I want to ask Jonathan about his martial arts background. Jonathan, you're a martial artist, aren't you?
Yes.
You're a boxer. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so
how did you get into it?
Am I answering Paul's?
Whatever you like.
That's kind of how we do it.
Dealer's choice.
But Johnny's obviously had too much coffee, or
I can take a hint.
No, we'll get in there, Johnny. We're going to rotate this. Let Jonathan just answer a question because that's why we brought him on.
I would say, so for those of your listeners that are not watching, I'm a black guy.
Really?
And I grew up in Canada.
You look brown to me, bro.
Yeah, mocha, hot chocolate.
You said that.
So,
I love it.
Coming up in the 70s and whatnot, and early 80s in Vancouver, it was primarily white. And so I experienced racism really early.
Really? In Canada?
Yeah.
Really? I'm shocked.
And so
Okay,
before...
quick interjection, but you have to understand, Johnny, he's talking, he's going to schools at U Hill and Lord Byng. They're in the top 1% of all schools in British Columbia. So it's kind of and when it comes to cultural identity and skin color, Canada, even back in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, it was quite common to accept everybody. At the end of the day, if you're not white, you don't have the white privilege. So everybody has to experience that, right?
Yeah. So, but when I dealt with it, even as a little wee lad, like just as soon as you leave your neighborhood and you start going to school, because that's where kids are assholes, as you know, and they're just trying to figure shit out, and they're just regurgitating the shit that if they had racist parents, they're bringing that to the playground.
Unfortunate.
So
yeah, it is.
So at that time, I didn't know much about God or Buddhism or anything like that. But there was something deep in me, even as a kid, that knew that there was an injustice, but I was going to stand my ground no matter what. And whatever, with the sticks and stones, may break your bones. I knew that they were wrong in saying what they were saying. So I had
right from the very first time that you remember happening to you.
Early on. So
same here. Nobody had explained it to me. It was self-evident to me.
Yeah, me too. I had no idea there was white privilege.
So there was times that you flee. I would run. There's times I would fight, and there's a couple times I froze. But I always had this really strong internal little fucking dude. Before I got into believing in something else and following something else. Shout out to my parents because they did a really good job of delivering a message. But once you
get you were headstrong even as a young lad because of your parents.
Yeah, and I had this strong heart and this internal engine. I had this freaking core. And I want to say that
dude, really quick, when I first met him in my first basketball game against him, and I saw that he wanted to check me, I was like, oh shit, man, this is not fair, because I was 90 pounds wet, and this dude comes out at 6'1", and his arms were like 7-foot wingspan and long legs, and he had this look on his face with those beautiful eyes, and I was like, I cannot let this guy intimidate me. Paul, whatever you do, destroy that mofo.
And you did.
Yeah.
No, you were. Anyway, we've talked about.
Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But you're on a really good group. I love this.
Later on, then I jumped into all the stuff that you're saying. I mean, I don't have a daily mantra, but we have the same Buddhism stuff in common.
Yeah.
And also God and stuff. And I have a lot of religious clients, and
you're in touch with your spirituality.
I have cherry picked the Bible as much as I've cherry picked the Tao and all that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And Johnny, I've always freaking loved Bruce Lee, and as I got older, I saw read the books and like all the philosophical stuff. Like he was just so, and he
magnetic
for me, like Jimi Hendrix. These guys had such a short life, and they got so much done, and they were so ahead of their time.
They burned very brightly.
And oh my God, oh yeah, Bruce was
one destroyed by heroin, the other destroyed by mafia. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So the martial art I do it's Korean karate, and it's called Hapkido.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And I came to the game very late because I got into that when I moved here. So I was probably 37 when I started. And
another late bloomer, Johnny.
Yeah. So every day my master would just come and yell, "More stretching, more stretching."
Up in the rusty gates.
Hey, Jonathan, you should get hired by the NBA to be a stretching spiritual coach for the NBA because too many soft core injuries in the core, hammies, calves, everything. It's a huge problem. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So what Hapkido came? It's not as old as some of the other martial arts. So I cannot remember the master who started it, but he borrowed the strikes and kicks from Taekwondo. He did the flips and throws from Judo. And the third one is Aikido that he brought, which is what Seagal used to do.
Yeah, defensive.
So
Aikido
it's
is a
lot
defensive
of
art.
blocks and breaks. and that kind of
Blocking and
That's what Bruce Lee did. He cherry picked from all the pre-existing martial
Yes, he
arts,
did.
and he picked what
Yeah.
made sense to him. And it's a good way to go through life, rather
And
than
he
putting
got
all
shit
eggs
for
in
it,
one
too.
basket.
He got
Right?
shit for it.
Exactly.
absolutely.
You know,
But he created a new venue for the vessel moving forward.
100%.
Do you guys remember Cynthia Rothrock? She was an acting star from the 1980s.
Yep.
Yep.
She was a Hapkido artist, and she could kick a guy on the head with the heel of her foot. She could bring her
Yep.
leg all
The
the way
axe
down,
kick.
A round kick around the
The
yeah.
X kick. Yep.
like
Yeah.
perpendicular to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like that should be physically impossible. That should
Actually,
not-
men and women
that's
can do that, but women are
common-
more inclined because they don't have stuff that impedes them in the middle. You know what I mean?
less blockage.
That's the medical term.
Maybe we are doctors.
I just
Dr. Bale.
I don't even know the medical term. Just a package gets in the way, I guess.
Especially under certain circumstances.
Right? I mean,
Ow.
hey, Jonathan, did you want to finish up, or do you want to let Johnny carry on, or you want to finish up on this comic
What's
because it's
your,
really nice?
Lighten me up a little bit. What's your favorite martial arts movie?
Oh, Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. My dad took me that in
That's the best martial art movie.
Yeah.
But
I loved him and John Saxon, and what was the other actor?
Yeah.
Jim Kelly.
I
love
Jim Kelly. Yeah.
Jim Kelly, yeah.
The three guys, the three amigos, the
Yeah.
brotherhood.
Yeah.
Like it was so
Forget it.
inspiring. I love that. That's why I love Star Trek so much.
Ahead of its time and holds up. You go to
Oh, yeah,
YouTube
big
and
time.
look at those things. Bruce was so fast; it was ridiculous.
Incredible, man. Incredible.
Of updated stuff. Did you watch any of the Raid movies? They're called
Yes.
I did. I've seen those.
Oh my
A long
God,
time
man.
ago. Those are amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I still
And
watch.
I
I've,
like, Tony Jaa. You
The
know,
Raid? Ong Bak, the first one that came out. Yeah.
oh
yeah.
my God.
the human superhero.
First one was incredible. The second one was actually, it's so hard to follow something as magic
Yeah.
as the first one.
Remember the scene where the bad guys are chasing him,
Mhm.
and there's like barbed wire
Yep.
circle,
Yep.
and it's
Yeah.
like this, and he contracts himself into a little ball and jumps
Yeah.
through it.
Imagine if you don't make it.
You saw that today.
They don't think that way
Yeah, exactly.
because as they're doing it, there's no fear.
angles, so you know that it's not that person, and you know that there's no trickery. He's actually doing it.
And I want to shout out to our good Canadian buddy Keanu Reeves for the
right.
John Wick series.
My
because
God.
he is a guy that's around our age, but he goes and really does the training. You can see the training on YouTube
yeah.
that he goes through for those movies.
Yeah.
And I saw him
Not
interviewed-
just the training physically with the martial arts, but his gun training.
and the gun training.
Wow.
And he said,
I like the way he
what-
moves. Like he's
what I
such
love-
a physical actor.
Yeah.
He moves like with the Matrix
Well,
Reloaded.
but that's the point with Jonathan's making is because he put the work in to make you believe that this guy is the top,
Cut the poses down to
the
a
top
T.
assassin in the world.
And that stuff is not only, he's got to get in the physical shape, he's older, and then you got to get the choreography right. And you take a lot of hits when you're trying to do that.
He actually
stuff.
had a neck injury when he started training for the Matrix. I've seen the Matrix revisited, I think, where it's like a documentary, and you see him
Okay.
wearing a neck brace.
No, he's a stud. He's a stud.
That's commitment.
He is. He's Canadian. He's a stud.
Oh, and another great Canadian. Hey, Johnny, did you want to bring up another question for Jonathan?
Sure. Let's see. I got a couple more on my phone here. Let's see now.
Whatever he doesn't have, I got a lot.
Continuing the martial arts thread just a little bit. What do you
Please,
do?
yeah.
I'm interested in this because I work security. I've been working security for 35 years. So it's
Okay.
kind of my bread and butter. What do you do to de-escalate a potentially violent situation?
Oh, it's I go in like a negotiator. Just calm. Keep the voice calm. I keep
De-escalate.
Keep
De-escalate.
my hands at my side. I'm not a threat, but
Good idea.
I'm ready, right? And I did this when I was a bouncer because everywhere I worked, I was like the smallest bouncer there.
Where was the last place you worked at Bouncer in Vancouver?
I worked for Mike at Voda.
At Boda?
Yeah.
No way.
I was 35 and I was like Detective Murtaugh. I was like, I'm too old for this shit.
That is hilarious.
Because when I first started bouncing, Johnny,
I remember that.
I was at Systems. I was 22 years old.
At
or 21.
Systems, eh?
And I fought. tooth and nail to get to be 200 pounds. I ate steaks every day, and I lifted. I went to Gold's and
You were
Ron's
always lithe.
Alcohol. You remember
You were
Ron's
always
Alcohol?
lithe. I remember Ron right across from Fourth Avenue. I lived right across the street above Greenpeace.
I tried so hard to be 200 pounds because I was going to be a bouncer, and then I have been within the same 7 or 8 pounds since then.
So you've never been overweight? Have you ever been? Oh wow.
I've had a beer belly, but I've never been over like 212 pounds.
Yeah, but he carries it long because he's got broad shoulders, long arms, long legs, short torso.
But
genetics does play a helpful part sometimes.
Almost definitely.
But I used to kind of go into these places when two guys were about to do their thing, and I would just be calm and start a conversation like, "Do you really want to do this?" Da da da. And like
You try to charm them a little bit.
And I would just say, "Look, guys, this worked in the '80s when I was in my 20s." I said, "Okay, guaranteed, we're all here to try to get laid, right?" And they're like, "Whoa, yeah." I said, "Well, if we throw you out, then you're barred and you can't come back, and you're not going to get laid." And they would look at each other like,
"Oh, I'm not going to
"Yeah,
get
well,
laid."
and then so I would always just de-escalate that, like.
Reminds me of that movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze.
Oh yeah, I was a cooler. Yeah. I was a freaking cooler.
You know, Mike Bichet, you never worked with Mike at the Roxy?
No.
Mike was at the door at the Roxy for
I remember.
too.
He always used to let me in. I remember.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Andrew Barry, Mike would let us in. Andrew Barry would hit us up with shots.
It was that was a dangerous conversation.
Oh yeah, that was the whole idea.
Yeah, but the other thing, Johnny, is when you know that the negotiation is not going to work and these guys want to go. I don't know what it is, but my brother told me, I've had it since a kid. Something goes behind my eyes, which is, okay, if it's going to be on, it's going to be on. And I know what it is. It's like, I am terrified. I'm afraid, but I will fight to my death or yours if I have to.
Right.
And I've
So
sometimes,
honest.
I just say like, okay, this is not the way to go, but this is what you've chosen. So,
Yeah.
okay, here we go.
You know, and back in the day, in the party day, I used to go to the places where Jonathan was playing music, and when he was at the door on occasion, we went out every night. I mean, that's what we did. And then I would play basketball 365 days a year, but and I would grind, but I'd party. Mm-hmm. And that's because that's what my life was until I became a professional athlete at 29, 30 years old. Yeah. Just a late bloomer. I didn't know any better. I loved to party. I loved to work out, and I thought that's what life was. Yeah. And then one day you wake up and you see that that's not the case. Yeah. And this is why we're doing this episode, because it's about evolving as a human being. Yeah. It's about growing as a human being. And should I go to my next one here?
Yes.
So number 9, I'm just going. It could be number 2. Doesn't really matter. The next one is something that's really important for me because I'm a very systematic person to this day.
Is he ever, Jonathan?
I am very, very systematic, and that's a polite way of saying extremely anal. I mean, once I set my mind to something, I just go. And my wife always says, "Well, why don't you do that with real estate?" And it's because I do that in real estate. That's why I've been in real estate for 23 years. But largely, if you can't control the industry that you're involved in and work with, and you can't help clients and potential clients, why am I even doing this?
Right.
All 3 levels of government in Canada have taken everything away from Canada. The last decade in Canada has been a very challenging decade in Canada. It hasn't been great. I won't get into politics, but when it comes to real estate, when they take one thing away, I will just transfer my attention, my passion, and put it into the Canadian Bro Show on YouTube. I wanted a YouTube channel for 15 years, and here we are, 103 episodes later. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change me. I'm still that systematic guy. I wake up every day. I work out. I do laundry. Man. I have, even though my wife's in Vancouver and I'm in Kelowna, we work together. We don't have kids. We have a very small family. We're just trying to take care of our own little world that we've created. And nurturing your body, soul, spirit, and aging for longevity, if we're able to get to a decent age, will help everybody. And if it doesn't, there's no guarantees in life. But we're doing this, the 3 of us, and anyone else that wants to watch this episode, is take control of your life, get systematic, find a program, find a way that you feel comfortable moving forward, like all three of us have individually, and stick to it and work and don't stop. And that's why it's really important. And the thing I wanted to talk about was purpose, passion, and meaning, and putting all those together. And that is, hobbies. My hobby right now at this stage, at 61 years old, if you told me at 61 I would have my own YouTube channel, I would look at you and probably tell you to F off. Like, there's no way. I don't have time for this. I'm a busy guy. I've got a career. At the end of the day, it's mentoring. I volunteer. I
good for
still
you.
train basketball. I just got hired as a new client, a 16-year-old chap, and he wants to play in grade 11 and 12. He just moved from Vancouver to Kelowna, and is at one of the best private schools in BC. And his dad reached out to me because his dad's friend is my managing broker, and my managing broker says, "Look, if you want to hire anyone, I got one of my realtors that is an absolute basketball freak. He is a hoop junkie, and that's the way he is, and that doesn't change. It doesn't mean because I'm a hoop junkie doesn't mean you're a writer. Doesn't mean you can't be a personal trainer or a great husband or a great friend. And Johnny being a writer, and he's 35 years as in security is a very challenging industry. And at the end of the day, by having hobbies, mentoring, and volunteering, creativity, retirement isn't an end. It's actually a redesign.
I will never retire.
No, I don't think I will either. And it's a redesign into the next chapters. And why does that matter? Because people with purpose live longer and age better. Not always, but if you play the percentages,
more often than not,
it works in your favor.
Back the deck in your favor.
And the joke to that, if I can make a little bit light on the comment, because every comment I make, I want to make a joke. Retirement doesn't mean stop working. Well, for us, that's definitely not the case. It means stop working for the people that you don't like.
Okay.
Focus on number uno. Take care of yourself. Now, I can work for people that I like.
In case they're watching.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's okay to be not selfish, but focus at this stage of your life. If you're here and you're 60 plus years old, you've done something right. It's not finished.
No,
this is
we need to give ourselves more credit rather than beating ourselves up all the time.
Absolutely, Johnny. Absolutely,
Jonathan.
What do you think about that?
I think this came up recently with my wife Sonia and I. We just went to see our financial guy, and my wife works like your typical 9 to 5. She works for somebody, and she is a hustler, right? So when we talk retirement.
Like my wife.
I'm looking to her retirement because she needs a break, and she's been doing that heavy lifting, and then even more heavy lifting when I've had dealing with my health issues and stuff.
Of course.
And shout out to you, honey bunny. Okay, so but with me, and I said to her, like what you just said, Johnny, because my passions, like life coaching and training and writing and narrating, I'll never stop doing that because it's a passion. And if I can get paid for it, then there is no retirement, or it'll go towards the retirement. And I'm going to use my own energy phrase. Like maybe you guys feel it too. I still have the energy I had like when I was 36, 37 years old.
More energy now.
And even if I don't get a good 6.5 hours. With a cat nap or not. And that's while I'm on medication. I wake up with my wife at 5 every day, and it's either
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and it's either come out here and work out or do my breathing and have coffee with her, whatever it is. But routines definitely work for me better than leaving it up to me.
It works for everyone. Whatever works for you, Jonathan, stick to it, and that's why it works. Johnny's got his own program. You got yours, I got mine. This is the best key at this age to get a systematic approach, to fall into in a comfortable way every single day for the rest of the time you're breathing, because it's going to benefit and nurture the body, soul, spirit, and it's going to help your aging. And you look at us. Like, I got clients, and I said this once before, and it's only one client. Unfortunately, he passed. He was 47. I think. And when I first met him, I never said a word in the first hour of us sitting down because he wouldn't let me. It was all about him. And then when he finally asked me about myself, I just, he goes, what do you do? And he goes, well, I used to play, I always go to my go-to. I used to play professional basketball. And they looked at me and he looked down. He goes, well, you're Canadian, right? I said, yeah. And he goes, like, you're really short, eh? I said, yeah. And he goes, how old are you? I said, well, I'm now I'm, this is about 3 years ago. I'm 58. And he looked at me and he didn't even listen to me because he never listened to me. It was always about him. Yeah. And he was a nice guy. I liked him. But, in dealing with clients, you've got to be able to deal with those clients and have good listening skills and take care of them. And conflict resolution 101 is repeated on and on again. But I've been in the service industry and in the sales industry for so long that I got thick skin. It's not a problem. Yeah. And then when the dude said, he goes, you play professional, you're a white dude from Canada and you play professional how do you do that? I said, just, relentless, hard work. Blah, blah, blah. And he goes, yeah, he goes, and he goes, and yeah, true. And he goes, and how long ago was that? And that was like, I don't know, like when I'm 3 years ago, that would be 23, 24 years when I last retired from the London Towers. And if you watch my basketball episodes, the backdrop is the most winning team I've ever played on, which is my last team, the London Towers in the British Basketball League. And he looks at me, and for the first time, he turns his head and goes, how old are you? I said, well, I'm approaching 60. And he went, and he was so upset when I said that. Because he thought I was like in my early 40s. And he's 45, 46, 47, whatever. And that's when I realized that the blessings of genes, a lot of good luck, and working out my entire life.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
Keep body moving. Use it or lose it.
Absolutely. And this is why we're talking about this, because we want to help people that are in their late 40s, 50s, and 60s, perhaps even older, that don't have the good fortune that we've had for the most part. We've worked at it. And how do we get people off their ass and help them understand that their life is not finished. It's beginning.
And the cool thing about now is we know, so it's not just bro science like our day when it was all about, when it was like bodybuilding and Arnold and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah. Creatine
and we used to think, wow, 45, that's getting up there, and 50, you're done doing anything physical. You're just
you're old, bud.
You're looking for a rocking chair and a porch sort of thing.
Right.
But now we know that guys are working out and women are in their 70s and they look great.
Lived, right? 98. He actually died working out.
So it's more.
That's crazy.
It's not just the phenoms here and there. There's lots of people and it's a mindset. They say, oh wow, you're 70, I'm also 70, and we're at this swimming class or whatever together. So that's exciting that we know that we can keep working out more. And the other thing that I'm really glad that medicine is caught up with us trainers is that lifting weights builds and strengthens bone density.
Yeah.
Right.
And helps alleviate muscle atrophy.
Exactly. So there's a lot of focus on muscle right now, and I'm glad about that. And especially women because of menopause and whatnot. Their bone densities, they're in more danger of losing bone density,
and so yet they live longer than us.
But now their doctors are saying you should be doing resistance training 3 to 4 times a week. Yeah. So it's when you're 90, you're not hunched over. You're still rocking, and you can make it to maybe 98.
Yeah, there's guys our age. They're walking around, staring at the sidewalk. They can't straighten their backs because they never did any exercise. They never did any stretching. Look at cats and dogs. What's the first thing you do when they wake up? They stretch their backs.
Stretch, absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, when we get older, our bodies contract.
But you got to lift. You need resistance.
Well, it's absolute, but it's all of the things that we're talking about. This is why it's really interesting to have 3 60-year-old chaps, really cool cats that take care of themselves, all different worlds, all different mothers. But we're all in the same program. And so, Jonathan, you're up next. What is the one thing that comes to you at the front of your forefront when you're training people and you're going through whatever you're going through, what is one thing that comes to you right away that you want to share and what people need to do?
I end all of my workouts with the phrase, all of the world's problems can be solved with love. Like, I know we're love heavy every time I come back here, which is great.
I love it.
And that is such a big umbrella that everything is underneath it. So before my clients show up, I just think I have to not only give them the knowledge that I have, I want them to have the best time that they can have in that 1 hour, which is I let them pick the music. We're going to have a great conversation, and they're going to move heavy objects, or I'm going to hold the bag so they can kick it as hard as they can. And so when they leave, they're just like, oh, I feel so much better than when I got here. And that's under the umbrella of love. Damn it.
Yes. I love it. One of my really quick interjection. I follow an Indian guru. Apparently there's millions of them, but this is my favorite one. And she's the best. And her name is Amma. Amma. I brought her up before, and she travels the world hugging people and giving love. And in southern India, south of Goa, she's created her own city.
Yes.
That she's been worked on her entire life. And that's part of my mantra. And when everybody asks her, what does she do? Because, a lot of people look at the Indian gurus and they think it's all a scam. There's thousands and millions of them. And they've got Indian gurus that are actually Rastafarians, where you go to them and and you might not smoke pot, but in order for them to share their details of how to survive and have longevity, you need to have a puff from the magic blunt. And people are just not into it, but there's a lot of people that when they get older, they'll try it for the first time.
That's right.
And they'll be with the Indian guru. The guy's 80 years old. He could be 100. Who knows? And but he's got the best ganja in the world. And you're smoking a joint with the dude, and there's dead bodies, bloated dead bodies floating by in the ganja in the background. And this is what my uncle Stefan told me about this, and he didn't puff because he doesn't smoke. And he told him when he was younger he did. He goes, "That's okay, man. Just be in the presence of love." Yeah. And the whole message, and you said it earlier in the pre-show when you sent me, and Johnny and I talked about this so many times, and that we've been doing a health series now. I think this is our 6th or 7th episode on health, Johnny. It's all about the love, bro.
Yeah. All about the love yourself unconditionally.
And I will say,
you have to learn to. A lot of people don't.
I want to throw out a different angle. Please. Because with a lot of people, this sounds too woo-woo and too much, right?
I know, and they think, who are these guys? We're not doctors. We're not psychologists.
And it makes them feel uncomfortable. It's just the same as if somebody comes really heavy with Catholicism, and you're not. You're like, I don't know. So some people say, a lot of Canadians will ask, because I'm down here in the States and they're family and friends, and like, how can you live under a president like that? And
it's not your fault.
Well, it's not, but it's in the news daily, and you can't turn around without seeing.
Been in the news daily for 15 years,
or hearing something he said, or tweet on X or whatever it is.
It's true. But it's brutal.
The reason, and here's the love angle. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I have love in my heart for the guy, because I'm not that good. But the love that I have makes me Teflon. So it's
Teflon, just like Teflon Don.
Yeah. So when I hear the nonsense or whatever, it doesn't really get to me, because I know that the future, there's going to be midterms, there's going to be another president. The expression, "this too shall pass."
Hopefully, Jonathan. Hopefully.
I believe it, and I know that
it's always darkest before the dawn.
Here's what I'm saying: is because it's not how much I lift or how hard I can kick the heavy bag. With this love and the love that I get from my wife and family and friends, that's how I can weather this storm. Because I look at this thing like, well, that's just a bad movie, and like I'm not oblivious to it, but
it's not just a bad movie; it's the worst movie we've ever seen.
Yeah, and I'm optimistic that we will learn from this.
I hope so.
And the pendulum will swing the other way. All that stuff, but that is one of the other reasons that if people are uncomfortable about getting into this love thing, it makes you tough. I know it sounds like...
how could you be uncomfortable falling into the love thing?
Maybe because if they can't
because they
find
have
it,
low
they
self-esteem.
No, because they don't love themselves. They have no idea how to
there
love
it is.
themselves.
Yeah, and that's a
And they
shame.
don't see the beauty of the world. They don't see they're not inspired by the amazing thing. They're jealous. They're envious. They're
But-
No,
covetous.
they're surrounded by darkness,
They're
and they need to
looters.
get out of
They
that
wanna
into
create
the
that.
lightness.
They prefer to
And
take.
that's not something to dump on them. That's
Not at all.
We want to bring
Not
them
at all.
along. We want to bring them along.
Absolutely,
And-
you
and
want
hope
to
that they get there.
showcase
They
the
just
light.
don't have those tools in the toolbox.
Not yet,
Yeah.
but maybe a
Exactly.
show like this can help people.
Go like this.
And that's why we do it. Yeah,
all
because
starts
look,
with mindset.
look, and that's why we really enjoy having you, Jonathan. It's not just that Johnny and I can't talk about the same. We have, but to bring in someone like yourself that I've known for, like Johnny, 5 decades of my life, and all of the experiences and everything that you've been through and everything that we've shared is really important for people to hear. That there are some really amazing, good, loving people out there. The vast majority of 8 billion people are kind and generous.
Yeah.
It's a very small percentage of the
Exhibit A.
darkness and evil. Yeah, exactly. And so thank you for joining us. But
Oh man, God, you guys.
that was your message. Would you like to close off on anything? And before we go into Johnny again,
no, that's what I
that
want
was
to say on
beautiful,
that.
very profound. I love it. Johnny, you're up, bro. What do you want to
Okay.
What do you want to ask Johnny or the world or
I
anyone?
think I've gone through the list pretty much.
Okay.
Just do you want to finish off with like what does the future look like for you? Like where do you see yourself in 10 years? Do you have a vision? Do you still have a goal that is yet to be manifested? Like you want to see a Lou Crasher Netflix series? I haven't.
That would
wouldn't
be
mind that,
cool,
right?
man.
It wouldn't
That would
bother
be
you too much.
Can you imagine if Luke Crasher and your
Lee
guy
Hackland team up.
Lee Hacklin?
There you go.
And
Yeah.
You can
they
write
act-
Lee's dialogue and I'll write Lee's dialogue.
Man, I like that. That would be cool.
I'm
Two complete opposite heroes.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Well, on the creative side, I'll share this with you guys. Creative Johnny, like with the writing, and Paul, you touched on it with. Fuck, that's part of 60. I forgot what I was talking about there.
No, it's okay.
But
No, but you were talking. You
Here's
were.
what- yeah,
you,
I got it. Came back.
You got it.
Yeah. So I have a book which is a new character, and I have shopped it to a couple of agents.
Yes.
And I
this
was
is-
connected, like introduced to those agents, and they
Yeah.
are heavy hitters. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
Sweet.
And it was turned down. The book was rejected, and so I went through a rewrite, hit another agent with an
You went through
introduction.
2 rewrites, both of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your barbarian
more,
character?
I would say no, not that one. I'd say more of a tweaking. But
Yeah.
then, so now I've
A
got,
hard tweaking.
yeah, and I had the latest version. I go, here we go, and it's with my publisher, Level Best, which has the book I wrote called Chloe.
Shout out to Level Best. You got a good one.
So, and they just hired a new hotshot editor, and she was an agent for many years, so she's read it all, right?
Oh.
And she had a lot of success. So she read my book, and guys, we have to talk about
Sweet.
humility and Buddhism and all that.
Oh, she
shit.
ripped it apart?
Ooh.
Oh,
There was nothing left. There's barely anything.
And how many books
Do you think
did
she
read?
did that intentionally?
No, she was just straight up honest, and
She's
she
like
said,
that all the time.
I believe so. And so I had to first, after I was licking my wounds, I had to go and look at her credentials, and she's legit. She's a real deal,
Right?
And
Criticism constructive?
and then what's that?
Sorry to interject, but was her criticism constructive, or was
She
it
just
Oh.
laid into him, bro.
Yeah, it was, but there was a lot of stuff that would suggest, I'm a beginner in some areas, and I mean it was brutal. And so,
Do you think she was just testing how you'd react?
No, I think she
That's
was
what
telling
she
it like
is.
it is. I think she was telling it like it is. But so, I was knocked down, but I never stayed down. So
No.
the next day,
That's not
I
you, bro.
I went to the bookstore. I got some books on writing that I hadn't read, but I knew about them, and I just went back to school myself, and then took her notes. And what I realized is, so I've written 10 books, including novellas and 2 children's books. And I was talking to somebody about it, and I gave this analogy. I'm like this young pup that was just running through this open meadow and just giving her and having a good time. somebody whistled me back and they put the leash on me. So
Wow.
it's time for me to go to the next
Had
level.
you met this gal before? Or?
Never, I hadn't heard of her. But what has happened is it's really made me. I got too comfortable. I got too comfortable at the level that I'm at, and I think every book, honestly, I can say has gotten a bit better. But I think I wrote her back and thanked her, and I'm completely rewriting the book. And I've sent some excerpts to my buddy. Shout out to Tim O'Mara in New York, and my wife, because she's the first one that puts eyes to my stuff, and she'll give it to me straight. And she's like, I don't know what has happened, but I can see a difference already.
Wow.
So that again, here's perspective. I could have stayed down. I could have said, "Oh, to hell with her." I could have self-published it. I could have asked for a different editor at the same publisher. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna play her game because I believe in her credentials, and she is gonna get me on the other side of the velvet rope.
So she was telling you this because she believes in you as well, to a lesser extent?
That is what I've showed the letter to my sister and some other people, and they said she went this detail because she sees something there.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm going to take that leap of faith, religion, see what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
And hope that she gets me on into the VIP room.
Oh, that's just fantastic.
And I said I sat back and I said, okay, my Hapkido master, as a master, he didn't master every single kick and every move. Bruce Lee kept learning. It's never over. You always learn and you always get better, but you have to be open to it.
Yo, this is the beautiful thing about the Canadian Bro Show and what we're trying to do is all three of us are learning. But more importantly, the people that enjoy this free podcast on YouTube can enjoy it as well. And you might be able to find something that you might not have ever expected that you would be educating yourself on or learning or listening to. A couple of scrubs from Canada, like, why? The Canadian Bro Show. There's first of all, I can imagine, I haven't heard it yet. Where are the women? Well, just because you're a bro doesn't mean you're not a woman. Come on.
Yeah.
It's in Canada, we don't differentiate. We're all bros. And that's why we're Canadians, because we're special.
Yes.
But that was one of the best things I've heard in a long time.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
And everyone out there, just don't take it personally, and don't get your squad together and then shit on that person.
As my mom says, don't get your knickers in a bind. We're talking about decades. We're talking 50, 60 years ago, Second World War, but you know what I mean.
If it's legit.
We go astray the moment we start thinking about things that are beyond our control. Then we begin to feel weak inside. And then the temptation, like alcohol and junk food.
Yeah.
Green all night, which is how I lived my life with video reviews. They become much more alluring.
Yeah, that was awesome, and we got time for a little bit more.
All right.
Who's next? Johnny, you're next. Do you have anything you'd like to share?
I think I'm spent as far as my questions go.
It's okay. I got lots.
I have your birthday present here, Paul.
Oh, okay, let's do that at the end. But I just want to talk about one other thing, because we could talk for another hour. But Jonathan's got a dinner, and
we've got 19 minutes left.
I have to fuel.
Exactly, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. We're at 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 22 seconds. So I'm going to go one more, and this is really important for chaps in the 60s. If you've gotten this far, you've done something right, or maybe you're just really lucky and you have no idea what kind of life you've lived. But one of the most important things I want to talk about is preventative health and checkups.
Yes,
and
sir.
Regular screenings, and this is based on Jonathan, what he's going through, and myself, and both Johns and Paul, all going through this. More so with Jonathan J. Brown. Regular screenings, hearing, vision, heart health, diet, catch things early, vitamins, supplements. Why it matters. Ignoring it doesn't always make it go away. In fact, it never goes away. So if you think by ignoring it, like most guys would, it'll never. No, it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. That's not a lump on my neck. It's just an overgrown zit.
Yeah, or a cyst. And I've had one of those. And when the doctor cut it open, it exploded 15 feet onto the ceiling of his doctor's office. And then he took his finger and put it in. He goes, "See what I have to clean up?" And he put it in my nose.
Go there.
Yeah, no, I left his doctorhood and found a better doctor because honestly, I've never seen or felt anything like that. It's you're cutting open my sebaceous cyst that exploded 8 feet onto the ceiling of his room, and you putting it in my nose to smell it. It smelled like the best stinky. It smelled like the best stinkiest cheese I've ever wanted to taste.
Bro.
A true story.
Man.
But getting back to why it matters. Ignoring doesn't make it go away. Like my sebaceous cyst. I just thought that it will go away. But I was training one of my clients' son at 5:30 in the morning at the Kids Salon and Community Center because he gave me $10,000 to teach his kid at St. Michael's private school across from Connaught Park.
Nice.
And so I said okay. And it doesn't go away. It just makes more expensive later. And the joke is, men will fix a leaky roof before getting their blood pressure checked. True. This is guys.
Actually, said most men will take better care of their cars than their bodies.
Well, we could go on. I've got 7 more things I could bring up. But we've been eating at this, and I just wanted to make sure we had enough content. And we're closing everything up. Jonathan, would you like to finish up?
I want to say to what do they say in improv? Yes, and Paul, to add to that, it's not just the dudes anymore. With my, let's say, over the years with my clients,
women are doing it?
It's almost 50-50 now.
So it's just fear-based, right? They're just scared to find out.
Yeah, exactly. And I challenge your listeners right now, because I know there's millions of them.
Not yet. We're working on it, bro.
If you are
tell your friends and clients to subscribe. Let's just say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Please do.
If you've got something going on and you're putting off going to the doctor, I want you to write down in one paragraph the reason why you're not going to go.
Fear.
And I bet you're not going to come up with any fucking words. Just admit you're afraid and fucking go. Sorry.
Scared shitless.
Just
scared
go.
shitless.
Just go.
Yeah.
Please go.
And same to guys.
Yes.
It's such a good point. And this is why we're doing this. Just gentle reminders with a little vulgar vocabulary, which we're allowed as adults on YouTube. We don't abuse it. This is not a children's show. This is an adult show.
And I was doing so well.
Well, you only swore 4 times, or maybe 5, and I swore twice. Johnny, I don't think you've sworn. No. So hopefully hopefully before we close the show, you can
You're
at
a good
least
man, Johnny.
Yeah, you can blow out one F, whatever. But in the meantime, we're gonna close everything up because we've had an amazing episode. Want to thank Jonathan J. Brown once again.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Hopefully we can bring you back on a regular basis because we really want to find out more about your writing and your health. Right. And we love you at the Canadian Bro Show. You know I love you anyways. Johnny loves you. Bro. And it's okay for men to say they love other men in a non-sexual way. This is part of what we're talking about in this show.
Make sure it's non-sexual, unless it's your thing and it's sexual, whatever.
There's no ambiguity here.
No, none whatsoever. And just because Johnny's malleable doesn't mean you can take advantage of him. And at the end of the day, sorry, it's just jokes,
is that what
man.
I see? Is that what I'm seeing?
Jokes.
The malleable?
No.
Is that what that is?
No, Johnny in the first episode we did.
Testosterone in my little finger than most men have in their whole.
Johnny was so nervous in the first episode we did. We had to drink a few beers, and I was like, "Look, do you need anything else? Do you need more than a few beers? Do you want a little herb? What do you need?" And so he was so nervous. If you watch episode 1.
Okay.
And you see Johnny now, and it's like night and day. It's amazing what 11, 12 months can do.
You put in the reps, man. You put in the reps. Good for you.
Something every day, you get better at it. Whether it's playing guitar or whatever it is, you build in your house, you get better at it. It's almost impossible not to. I like to become a better writer now than it was in 2010. So I've been doing it every single day for 6 years.
And your writing is extraordinary, and that's why I'm hoping that Jonathan can take it to the next level, and then maybe the lady that just ripped Jonathan's heart and soul away will do the exact same to you and kick you up into the next notch because your shit is awesome, Johnny. And it's honestly, if 70s Manhattan,
Yeah.
Michael J. Vincent, smoking, carries a Browning. He's got an attitude, doesn't care about anything else. He's the exact guy that
Complicated
we all
man,
love.
and nobody understands him but his woman.
Now,
Oh,
Johnny, just for me, are you still self-publishing, or are you looking?
I use a website called Draft2 Digital.
Oh, that's
We
it.
talked
Right.
about it on the last show. It's
Okay.
super easy to use. It's free. Anybody out there who wants to write a book, what they do is they springboard your book to different platforms.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have copies of my stuff, which is something that I need to do. If I didn't have a job, I could do that.
Mhm.
But all my stuff is on Barnes &
Do
Noble.
it. Don't blame it on the job, bro.
Well, you can do it. What do you call it? Print on demand through Amazon. So
Draft2 Digital does have a printing option, but it's oh my god, it's just like I need time to analyze it.
okay.
It's so
Look into
complicated.
Ingram Sparks as well. Ingram Sparks. Check that one out too.
Well, maybe you guys could have a connection on a future show. We're gonna hopefully at some point. We don't want to try to you've got a busy schedule and everything, but we'd love to bring you back in the next few months in
I'm
the
coming
new
back,
year
man. I'm
for
coming
spring,
back.
and
Yeah.
bring you back because honestly, I think we have this special synergy
Yeah, man.
at the Canadian Bro Show, and all of us are going through a lot of the same things, and I think a lot of people could really benefit from this. And thank you kindly for not only
dude.
Jonathan J. Brown and Jonathan. Can you just tell everyone where they can find all your stuff?
I was
ran
gonna
out
bring that
of.
up. That's okay. I was going to bring that up as a topic. I have left
Sure,
the
let's go.
socials, and I don't have a website. All I
You've been
have
talking about that for a while, though,
I
right?
know. So
Are you happy about that?
Oh,
Is it better?
yes. Yeah. For
Less
me,
stress, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's not like I would check how many hours I was online. I would look at my phone and stuff, and it wasn't a lot. But sometimes away from the social, I think, well, what's my next post going to be?
Right.
And then you can't help but say, well, how many why didn't I thought they were going to dig that one more, but hardly anyone looked at that one. So
You talk about your monthly the JJ Brown.
no, like Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah,
or the posts, yeah.
the gram. I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
are great. I love those.
Well, that's all over now, and I love it.
What is the one that I'm getting on a monthly basis?
I have a newsletter.
Yeah, that's
my
it.
newsletter. Yeah,
I love that, man.
Yeah, so that's maybe some people in your comments can just put their emails, and I can add them.
So what is the?
Well, that I have to have their email to.
Oh,
to
I see.
Put
Okay.
Up but I still do have some videos over on YouTube, and it's just my name, Jonathan J. Brown. User.
They can also
Live
comment on
Life-
this show, right?
Live Life 007. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can come back here and
Oh, well, we're gonna do that at a better.
Yeah.
I just today just to have you done, and I knew it was time constraints and everything, and
Yeah.
we just wanted to, and it's everything I expected, and the best birthday present I could possibly ask for.
Happy
at
birthday
61.
again, man.
No, thank you kindly, gentlemen. I mean, the phone has been going nuts, and media has been going nuts. I'm not even going to address it tonight. I'll thank everyone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, today was the most important birthday gift for
Nice.
myself, selfishly, because to be able to put together the type of content that we did today is exactly why this channel is growing, and there's so much more
Right.
room for growth.
There you go.
And this continued situation that we have bringing you on, I think it's going to be, if you allow us, Johnny and I have been, this is our sixth, or is it our sixth episode, Johnny, about health and well-being, mental well-being, everything? It's something like that. And
I have one more to toss out. One more
Please,
to toss.
please, yeah.
Short one. Okay. When I get up and talk somewhere or whatever, nowadays it's every other person that either has cancer or has a family member that they've lost to cancer, or they just, I mean, it's just rampant, as we know. So I just wanted to say to everyone out there that has it or doesn't, please avoid sugar, because cancer cells feed off sugar. Their favorite source of fuel is sugar. And so if I am not a doctor like yourselves, but just stay off the sugar.
Yeah. I have to
Cancer
say
loves
it. My only vice left, pretty much, I quit everything, is I enjoy a little vino, and I mix my vino with tea, a mixture of tea.
Really?
And Yeah, I don't want to get into it. I don't want someone to steal my idea.
Okay.
But seriously, I just went in to buy my vino and my tea, and the hardest part is the vino is easy to buy. It's the tea is really hard at London Drugs because everybody is getting into tea. They're getting away from coffee.
Yeah, tea's back.
I've never been a tea guy, dude, but I drink more tea than I drink wine or water, actually, although it's largely water. And the one thing I can say is that not doing those things and sticking to the program seems to be working. And you know, my only vice is my little concoction that I've created, and all the others are gone. And I would imagine that if it gets to some point in the near future where, you know, the vino tea combination thing that I do, it finishes, that's fine. And no problem. But I do get some joy. I don't enjoy that particular concoction to get inebriated, to get drunk, to black. I don't do any of that anymore in my life.
We did that.
God. Yeah, we did a lot of that.
We had a good run. I'd say we had a good run.
Honestly, I'm surprised we're still here, all three of us.
No one can say we weren't committed.
In 7 minutes. Oh, close your eyes. I got your birthday present. Close your eyes.
Oh, well, my eyes are always open, bro.
There you go, bro. You mentioned that you liked the Watchmen movie.
I think it's one of the. It surprised me. It shocked me. Well, that's great. Thank you, Johnny.
Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. This is amazing. It's so well written.
It's really honestly one of the best comic book films I've ever seen, and I didn't expect it. And the last time I saw it, it was even darker than I expected. And I've seen it 4 or 5 times. Have you seen this movie?
Yep,
John?
I saw it in the theater when it came out, and
really?
as I watched it, I wished that I had read the comic book because.
Well, thank you, Johnny. That's excellent.
Pretty literal adaptation, but the ending.
Really?
Love it.
The ending is very different.
Okay,
It's kind of thematically similar, but anyway, I think you'll dig it.
No, it's very kind, and I'll see you in spring, Johnny.
I have a plan before we go.
Oh, no, before we go, we're going to do books and everything. Last words from our guest and special guest.
And they're going to kick me out.
I know.
Oh,
we'll get this done quick. Last minute, Jonathan J. Brown. What would you like to share with us? Something really positive and something
happy birthday to you. Thank you for having me back. And like I end all my sessions, all of the world's problems can be solved with love. Period.
All you need is love.
Continue.
And my mantra, Amma, someone asked her what her religion is, and she just looked at them and laughed. And they started playing music, and she said, "My religion is love."
There you go.
Johnny.
It's not rocket science.
Johnny, let's go. We got a couple of minutes.
Okay. Bono and The Edge.
Johnny's going to get kicked out of the Vancouver. Johnny's the only one that has his private studio in the Vancouver Library. Go.
Bono and The Edge walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Not you two again."
That's awesome.
They're going to kick me out.
I love it. The book I'm reading, Johnny.
Okay, some of my best friends are blondes, just saying. 2 blondes are having coffee. And one blonde says, "I took a pregnancy test last night." And the other blonde says, "What was the toughest question?" And the first blonde says, "Are you dumb?" And the second blonde says, "What was your answer?"
All right, we're going to let you go. We're gonna sign off, everyone. Jonathan, thank you kindly for joining me. Thank you for the best birthday present, Johnny. Thank you for the second best birthday present, or tied for the first. Gentlemen, we're gonna lock and close everything down. I'm gonna remove you from the scene and just do.
Got to get that in.
And yeah, I love that. And just do a little bit of this. Johnny, Jonathan, Pauly, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe, like, comment if you enjoy this free podcast on YouTube at The Canadian Bro Show. We really appreciate it. It's been an amazing episode. Thank you for joining us. And Jonathan, honestly, my God, Johnny, it's incredible. I'm going to remove you from the scene, and we will talk to you, bros, very soon. Love you.
Sure.
Love you, cats.
Here we go. Thanks, guys.